So for the Engage activity for Algebra 1B Credit 5, we go over a predictor of sunlight. They're going to be predicting sunlight to tomatoes. So as you can see here, I can plot 5 to about 42, which is about there. 655, which would be about here. 768, which would be about there, maybe closer to 70. 880 and 971. So you can go ahead and pause at any time and try and plot those points out on your graph. But as you can see here, we do have some points. And my question to you is, now that we've plotted all these points, does the data look linear, quadratic, or exponential? Linear being that it'll look straight, like a straight line. Quadratic looking a little like a curve, and that could go upside down, by the way, too. Or exponential. What do you think? And then just explain. So I'm not going to give you the answer. Write in what you think it looks like, and then we'll go on to the, and here's a little sentence starter. You think the data is, pick one, and write because, and tell us the reason why. Let's move on to the next graph. So here they have us graph average temperature to tomatoes. So temperature would be about 58, maybe about here, going up to about 36. 62 to about 43. I'll try and draw that there. And go ahead and pause here, graph the rest of the points. Unpause. These are what the points should look like, about there for each one of these. And then again, kind of see what this would look like if it looks linear, like a line, quadratic, and that could also go upside down, or exponential. Here's yet another sentence starter, so that way you can write your thoughts of what you think the data looks like. I think the data is blank, fill it in, and tell us why, because. Last one of the graphs, we're going to go ahead and graph his experience to the amount of tomatoes he's able to yield. So with 1 year experience, he does about, not too good, 3 pounds of tomatoes. With 2 years experience, it's about 18. Okay. Hopefully my points don't go away. I apologize for that. But pause here if you need to and actually write down what your points would be. And unpause. These are what the points should look like. Now it's kind of a steady growth. So he's getting better and better each year. And then again, let's see if that relationship would be linear, quadratic, remember that could go upside down, or exponential, the line sloping upward. So write on what you think that would be. Here's a sentence starter again. I think the data is, and why you think that. And then last but not least, we're going to look at each of the table of values. So on here you'll notice that I kind of copied down the table of values so that way we can see, based on your observation of the data, what is the ideal combination of the amount of sunlight, temperature, and number of years to maximize the yield in harvest. So my hint to you is look at each table and find the X value that goes with the highest Y value. So looking here, let's go ahead and look at this column of numbers, and that column of numbers, and that column of numbers, and go ahead and circle what you think is the highest number in each one. So in this first column, that would be about 80, which corresponds with 8, 82, which corresponds with 75, and 84, which corresponds with 10. So that'd be about 8 hours of sunlight, 75, or 82 is the biggest number here, which corresponds with about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 hours. And for experience, that would be about 84, or 10 years of experience. Cool. So that's the engage activity. The next one we're going to start with is the Are You Ready? So I'll see you on the next video.